victims' families of knife crime in the UK. And today, official statistics have revealed that almost 1 in 5 people convicted of a knife crime go on to re-offend.
But police and local communities hope that a 27-foot sculpture made out of 100,000 blades could help make a change. Riyad Khalaf went to Blackburn to find out more.
In the last year, 224 people have been killed by a sharp object, such as a knife, in England and Wales. Nearly 1 in 5 of these cases involved a child aged between 10 and 17 in possession of an offensive weapon. It's a problem faced in every community, but there is an educational project to help bring about change. It's the National Monument Against Violence and Aggression, and it's on tour.
This knife angel statue has been temporarily installed here at the Blackburn Cathedral. The 27-foot mega piece of art is made from over 100,000 blades that have been handed in to police forces across the country.
Wanting to make an impact on knife crime, the British Ironwork Centre worked with artist Alfie Bradley to create this extraordinary sculpture, which took 2 years to make. The monument represents the UK's intolerance to all forms of violence. Its national tour began in Liverpool in 2018, and Blackburn Cathedral is its 15th stop. The local council and police forces here in Lancashire are hoping it'll help save future local victims of knife crime. Victims like Brian Hyten's younger brother, 18-year-old John Joe.
You couldn't have asked for a more nicer young lad who was killed in 2014. The problem started occurring once he started hanging around with the wrong sort of people. It just spiraled out of control.
What happened to John Joe?
He was stabbed on 2 separate occasions. The first time he was stabbed 24 times with a machete. It's like a miracle he survived. And then just he left the pub after work a couple of weeks after his 18th birthday, walked up the street and paid the consequences for other people's actions, and he was stabbed another 20, 30 times and he died.
9 people were imprisoned in connection with this crime. 6 were convicted of murder. Byron now runs the JJ Effect, a project sharing his brother's story to warn other children and convince people to hand in their knives.
These are some of the knives.
Wow.
Yeah, so these are actually all, I think there's 123, maybe 124 in here. Each one's got its own story. Any knife that's handed in to me, if there's no danger of life or no threat, I take it and use it as a lesson. The worst part about my life is I am who I am because my brother was killed. I've got to live with that. And it's horrible.
I think this just shows, doesn't it, that the impact of a knife crime isn't just contained to the victim, it ripples out.
I've said this before in many of my presentations. So the moment that someone's heart stops is the exact moment that their pain ends, but it's the same exact moment that everyone who's associated with that person, mums, dads, family, brothers, sisters, their pain starts.
Knife amnesties like Byron's just show the extent of dangerous weapons out there on the streets. The Knife Angel is designed to shock people into handing in their blades to the amnesty box at its feet. Here, the bin is monitored by Sergeant Stephen Dundon, who's part of the Violence Reduction Network run by Lancashire Police.
We want people to feel safe, to bring the knife down, dispose of it, and that's the end of the matter, without any fear of any repercussions coming from it.
Why is it important for the knives to be disposed in this way as opposed to being thrown in a bin?
You throw a knife in a bin, people will rummage through bins, people may come across that knife. You might think you've disposed of it securely, and you haven't, and it might end up in the hands of somebody who has ill intentions with the knife. So pop it in the secure box and we'll dispose of it.
So have you had a look in the box yet? How many have been brought along?
Well, up to today, there've been 56 knives handed in.
56?
Yeah, so we'll have a look and see how many there are today.
Okay, moment of truth. Wow! That is a lot. This is incredible. So it's a weird emotion that you get when you see these being pulled out. It's a mixture of happiness that they're no longer on the street, but also it's dark.
These knives could be used for anybody to threaten or intimidate or assault somebody. So the fact that we'll now dispose of these will remove that problem from the streets in relation to these knives.
This imposing statue has drawn attention from locals and visitors alike. The photography competition to find the most powerful image had over 660 entries submitted.
It's very easy to see why this sculpture is so inspiring. especially in front of the beautiful cathedral. But today marks the end of the Knife Angels' time here in Blackburn, because as you can see, it's on the move again.
The Angel is spreading its wings, flying up to Carlisle to continue its journey, inspiring communities across the UK. And local students here agree, it's certainly left its mark in Blackburn.
It's quite nice to learn about it, because it's really shocking, like looking at the statistics and stuff.
Has anyone here ever heard of or seen someone they know with a knife on them?
It happened on my street. Some person broke into someone's house with a machete and they were almost dead. The ambulance arrived almost at like 4 in the morning, and it's just scary knowing that anyone can get you.
Did you discuss it with your parents, or how did you guys process that?
I guess we were just glad that it wasn't us.
We are the next generation and we hold a lot of hope after what has been happening in the past few years. So hopefully things like this organisation is just incredible, how it initiates such a big problem and it addresses it in such an informative way.
It's just spreading the word and like making more people aware of it, and the thing is, it's like it's not a thing where it's just in one place. It can be really close to home.
Getting a chance to speak to those amazing children here in Blackburn has made me feel really great about the next generation, how much awareness they have, a hunger to learn and to spread the word about how damaging knife crime can be, not just for the victim, but for the families involved and the wider community. The Knife Angel may be gone to Carlisle, but the legacy of it is definitely still here.
Such a strong film, that, and
Yes.
such maturity from those students. They were just incredible,
It
weren't they?
really is. It gives you hope for the future. And when you open the box and all the knives, how many people have put in knives? Lots of you got in touch. We've actually got a comment here from Pam on Facebook. And she says, I saw this when it came to Rochester. It's an amazing sculpture, which is incredibly moving. Really fantastic.
Really
Yes.
was. Great film.